Seoul pulses under the golden light of late afternoon. The Gangnam district raises its skyscrapers like blades cutting through the sky, each mirrored window reflecting the last rays of sun. On the 47th floor of Meridian Tower, the most imposing building on the avenue, Min Ji-woo adjusts her black Chanel blazer for the third time in 5 minutes. At 32, Ji-woo commands TechFlow Solutions with an iron fist wrapped in silk. Her black hair falls in perfect waves to her shoulders, while her dark brown eyes carry the determination of someone who built an empire in a male-dominated world. The 10-centimeter Louboutin heel echoes through the Italian marble corridor, each step a declaration of power. The Cartier watch on her delicate wrist marks 6:47 p.m. Another day, another victory. The meeting with Japanese investors was an absolute success. Another 50 million won to expand into the Asian market. Ji-woo allows herself a discreet smile as she walks toward the elevators. The golden doors open with a soft whisper. She enters and presses the basement button, where her driver awaits with the black Genesis G90. But before the doors close, a masculine hand appears to stop them. "Excuse me, may I come in?" The voice is deep, with a Busan accent that carries the weight of mountains and the salt of the sea. Ji-woo raises her eyes and encounters a man who seems to have stepped out of another world. About 38 years old, tall, easily 6'1", with broad shoulders that stretch a simple navy blue shirt. The sleeves are rolled up to his elbows, revealing muscular forearms marked by small scars that speak of manual labor. Slightly disheveled black hair, as if he had run his fingers through it, frames an angular face with strong features. But it's the eyes that catch her off guard. Dark brown like hers, but with a depth that seems to hold ancient secrets. Of course, the word comes out softer than Ji-woo intended. He enters carrying a worn leather toolbox and presses the button for the 15th floor. His scent invades the confined space, sandalwood mixed with something masculine and earthy, as if he brought a bit of nature into that sterile corporate environment. "Working late?" Ji-woo hears herself asking, breaking her own protocol of never talking to strangers. He turns, and a slow smile draws across his masculine lips. "Electrical problems on the 15th. You know how it is. When the company needs, I come." The phrase resonates strangely, but before Ji-woo can analyze it, the elevator shudders. Once, twice. The lights flicker like candles in the wind. Is this normal? She tries to keep her voice steady, but notices the slightly higher tone. Old building. Sometimes it has its moods. He approaches the control panel, and Ji-woo notices how the back muscles move under his shirt when he leans forward. Then it happens. A dull crash echoes through the elevator shaft, followed by deafening silence. The lights go out completely, plunging them into absolute darkness. Shit. The word escapes Ji-woo's lips before she can control herself. A low laugh resonates in the dark. Didn't expect to hear that from such an elegant executive. Heat rises up Ji-woo's neck. Sorry, I don't like close spaces. No need to apologize. Actually, it was refreshing to hear something real. She hears the sound of the toolbox opening, followed by a click. A small flashlight turns on, creating a golden circle of light that seems even more intimate than the darkness. Better this way? He raises the flashlight, and the beam of light dances across the delicate features of Ji-woo's face. A little. She leans against the mirrored wall, and the cold surface against her back makes her realize how warm her skin is. I'm Kang Tae-han, by the way. Min Ji-woo. He nods. I know who you are. The answer comes soft, almost whispered. Ji-woo feels something stir in her stomach. You do? Everyone in this building knows who the CEO of TechFlow is, the woman who got where no other could. There's something in his voice, respect mixed with admiration, that makes Ji-woo's skin tingle. Tae-hyun approaches the emergency panel, and his movement makes his scent intensify in the confined air. I'll try to make contact with security. But when pressing the buttons, nothing happens. System completely down. Must be a problem in the main substation. How long will it take? Ji-woo tries to keep her voice controlled, but feels her breathing accelerate. Hey, Tae-hyun's voice gets closer. Look at me. She opens her eyes and finds him just inches away. The flashlight creates shadows that make his face even more intense. Breathe with me, slowly. His hands rise, hesitate in the air, then gently rest on her shoulders. The touch burns through the fabric of her blazer. Inhale. He demonstrates, and Ji-woo finds herself hypnotized by the movement of his chest rising and falling. Exhale. She obeys, and gradually her breathing synchronizes with his. But something else is happening. An electric current that runs through her body with each touch of his fingers. Better? Ji-woo nods, but doesn't pull away. For the first time in years, she doesn't want to be in control. How do you do this? She whispers. What? Calm me. No one has ever been able to do this. Tae-hyun's eyes become darker, if that is possible. Maybe you've never let anyone try. The phrase hits Ji-woo like a soft punch to the stomach. It's true, and they both know it. I can't be vulnerable. Not in my world. But we're not in your world now. We're here, just the two of us. One of his hands moves from his shoulders to his nape, fingers intertwining in the silky strands. Ji-woo feels every nerve ending awaken. Tae-hyun, it's more of a plea than his name. Tell me to stop and I'll stop. But she can't, doesn't want to. Instead, she raises her face, and his lips find hers. Leave a like if you've also felt this inexplicable chemistry in the most unexpected place, because sometimes destiny finds us when we least expect it. The kiss begins soft, questioning, but when Ji-woo moans against his lips, Tae-hyun deepens the contact. It's as if years of containment shatter all at once. Her hands find his chest, feeling the rigid muscles under his shirt. He pulls her closer, and Ji-woo can feel his heart beating fast, or is it hers? When they separate, both are breathless. That was... Ji-woo can't finish the sentence. Unexpected, Tae-hyun completes, but his fingers still play with a strand of Ji-woo's hair. At that moment, the elevator lights flicker back to life, and reality hits like a cold wave. The lights stabilize, and Ji-woo instinctively pulls away, smoothing her blazer and trying to regain composure. But her hands tremble slightly, and she knows he notices. Ji-woo. Tae-hyun extends his hand toward her, but the elevator doors open on the 15th floor. I need to... She presses the basement button repeatedly. Need to go. Wait. He blocks the doors with his body. Don't end it like this. And what? She raises her chin, trying to recover her CEO mask. Nothing happened. His eyes narrow. Liar. The word hits Yoo-woo like a slap, because it's true. She's lying to him, to herself, to the world. Tomorrow, same time. It's not a request. Meet me here. Before she can respond, he exits the elevator, leaving only the masculine scent and the echo of her own words. Nothing happened. But it did happen, and throughout the night as she tosses and turns in the king-size bed of her Gangnam apartment, Ji-woo relives every second.
The touch of his fingers on her nape, the pressure of masculine lips, the way he made her feel small and protected instead of powerful and lonely. The next day, she tries to convince herself she won't stop on the 15th floor. Tries to concentrate on spreadsheets, video conferences, quarterly reports. But at 6:47 p.m., she's in the elevator again. The doors open on the 15th floor, and he's there, waiting, as if he knew she would come. This time when he enters the elevator, Ji-woo doesn't lean against the opposite wall. She stays where she is, too close to be casual, too far to be obvious. Changed your mind about yesterday. Taehyun presses the button to close the doors, but doesn't select any floor. About what? But her voice comes out huskier than intended. Instead of answering, he approaches, slowly, giving her time to retreat, flee, return to her safe world of control and distance. Ji-woo doesn't move. When he raises his hand to touch her face, she closes her eyes and leans into the touch. The rough skin of masculine fingers contrasts with the softness of her cheek. "What are you doing to me?" she whispers, "showing you who you really are." This time when he kisses her, there's no hesitation. Ji-woo surrenders completely, hands intertwining in his hair, pulling him closer. She has never felt so alive, so awake, so woman. His hands explore the curves of her body over the silk dress, and each touch sends waves of heat straight to the center of Ji-woo's being. She moans against his lips, and the sound seems to awaken something primitive in Taehyun. He presses her against the mirrored wall, and Ji-woo can see their reflection. She, always so controlled, now completely lost in the arms of a man she doesn't even really know. "I never," she tries to speak between the kisses he deposits along her jawline. Never what? Never lost control like this. Taehyun stops and looks into her eyes. Then it's about time. But before they can go further, the elevator stops on the ground floor. The doors open, revealing the marble lobby of Meridian Tower. And that's when Ji-woo sees it. On the wall opposite the elevator, a golden plaque she had never really noticed. Meridian Tower, property of Kang Industries Group. Her blood freezes. "Kang," she whispers, looking at him with wide eyes. His smile is sad, almost melancholy. Kang Tae-yoon, CEO of Kang Industries Group. She voice fails. The owner of this building, of the construction company that built it, of the conglomerate that includes the holding company of which your company is a subsidiary. Ji-woo feels as if the floor had disappeared under her feet. Why? Why did you pretend to be an electrician? Taehyun exits the elevator and turns to her. "Because my father, Kang Dae-jung, was your father's partner in his first company. Min Jae-sung was like a brother to him." Ji-woo's world stops. Her father died when she was 15, taking with him all the secrets of his businesses. "I watched you grow from a distance, Ji-woo. When you took over Tech Flow at 28, when you made your first acquisition, when you expanded to the international market, my father made me promise I would take care of Jae-sung's daughter if she needed it. I don't need to be taken care of." The answer comes automatically, defensively. "No, you don't. You became stronger and brighter than any of us imagined. But I wanted to know the woman behind the CEO, the real Min Ji-woo. And dressing as an electrician was the only way? It was the only way for you to see me as a man, not as another businessman wanting something from you." The truth hits Ji-woo like a revelation. How many men approached her over the years interested only in her power, her company, her connections? Taehyun is the first who saw her simply as a woman. So what happened yesterday, today? She made a vague gesture between them. It was real. The most real thing I've ever felt. Jiwoo exits the elevator, legs still trembling. I need to process this. I know, but Jiwoo. She turns around. Don't let fear decide for you. Not this time. Subscribe for more stories of women discovering their true power, because deserving to love and be loved is the greatest act of courage. That night, Jiwoo stands on the balcony of her apartment, watching Seoul's lights stretch to the horizon. The night wind plays with her loose hair. For the first time in years, she didn't tie it in a perfect bun. In her hands, she holds the business card she found on her desk later. Kang Tae-yoon, CEO of Kang Industries Group. On the back, a handwritten message. To the woman who made me remember why it's worth taking off the armor from time to time. Jiwoo smiles, a true smile, not the political smile she uses in meetings. For the first time in her adult life, she doesn't know exactly what will happen next. And for the first time, that doesn't scare her. Maybe it's time to discover who Min Ji-woo is when she doesn't need to be invincible. Maybe it's time to discover that strength and vulnerability can coexist in the same heart. Maybe it's time to go back to that elevator, not as the CEO of TechFlow, but as the woman who is finally ready to surrender to the unknown. Because sometimes destiny finds us between the 15th floor and the ground floor, disguised as an electrician, carrying a toolbox and all the secrets we needed to discover about ourselves. And in the reflection of the apartment window, Jiwoo no longer sees the impeccable executive, but a transformed woman. A woman who finally understood that true power isn't in never surrendering, but in choosing who is worth surrendering to. The story doesn't end in the elevator. It just begins there.